Hello everyone and welcome to episode 17 of the WCW Returns. I am the Basement Booker. We are here on the Go Home Tuesday Night Ignition for Wrestle War. I know that in between these two pay-per-views is very quick, but I want it to be that way on purpose. That way I could give as much time as possible for Starrcade to be built up. So like I said, there's going to be about 6 weeks, give or take, a build up for Starrcade. So I hope that's enough to build the show up to what I want it to be. There's some twists and turns on the way there, I think, that are going to be intriguing. Starting tonight, we have our very first shocking development here in WCW that I think will be very cool for Wrestle War and potentially for Starrcade, but I don't want to go that far in saying that much. I have had opportunities to sign some very big names, but I've had to say no. Two guys, I just want to say who they are. Batista came back to the wrestling world in this, and I had to say no. And Brock Lesnar, mainly because I don't, as great as those two guys are, and as awesome as it would be to bring them into WCW, I don't want to become what WCW was. And also, Brock Lesnar's $50,000 a month, and I'm not paying that. So, having said all of that, let's get to the show. So we get two pre-show matches coming up here. We have, in a terrible pre-show match, Ashley defeats Lal Empora in 7:23 at pinfall with standing, I don't know what that word is, but rating of 38. I signed this woman on CMLL, just trying to get some different women in my division. She only got 25, but that's alright. She's pretty old, so I kind of was just looking for a veteran. And no improvements. There we go. A terrible pre-show match. Tally Madsen defeats Ivelisse Velez in 5:39 with a retaliation. Okay. 25 Velez, Madsen of 43. No improvements. Tried to get as many women as I could on the pre-show so I could hopefully get their skills better. Clearly it did not work. So the show opens with Mick Foley. I know I've been doing this a lot with Mick Foley opening the show, but I feel like that's the best way to open the show, just to keep some announcements going, to keep some things flowing. He's talking about Wrestle War and some other things that'll be on the card. As he said, that we already had the Morrissey Machine Guns versus Young Bucks. We got Gale versus Natty, Hero versus Mark Henry, and we have that Fatal 4-Way for the world title, and Wrestle War itself. But he says, I want to book one more thing. Because the United States Championship is not on the line at Wrestle War, I want the United States Championship defended at Starrcade. And this is how we're going to decide who the opponent is. It's going to be a 6-man matchup, where it's going to be Aaron Stevens versus Johnny Gargano versus Marty Scurll versus Rob Echoes versus Zema Zion versus Stu Sanders. The winner of this match will be the person who faces off against MVP for the United States Championship at Starrcade. Alright. As well as tonight, we will see a 6-man match for the main event, as it will be Bobby Roode, MVP, and Mark Henry taking on Bram, Chris Hero. I don't know why Cody Rhodes turned into that, but it's Cody Rhodes. I don't know why that obviously was not the right word. Let's fix that. Boom. There we go. And yes. Open the show, we have about that great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Roderick Strong defeats Stu Sanders and 12:45 at pinfall with death by Roderick. Roderick Strong and Stu Sanders have great chemistry. Roderick Strong is 78, Stu Sanders is 67. Rating was 74. Wow. And no skill improvements, but that's okay. Roderick Strong, unbelievable. Great matchup. I purposely kept him off shows after Halloween Havoc. I mean, it was only one show, but trying to limit his wrestling for now. But don't worry, things will build up. And Stu Sanders, even though he loses here, had a great effort, so not worried about that. Backstage, Cody Rhodes and Chris Hero are talking as Bram is just being weird and creepy in the background, and they're hoping that he's on their side tonight, and that because the three people that were facing on the other side are three of the top guys in the industry. Bram creepily says, "Oh, I got your back," and they walk out of the room. 68, not bad. And about that subpar wrestling, a little heat. Gail Kim defeats Cherry Bomb at 6:23 with a happy ending. Oh, good. Gail Kim got hurt. Fantastic. Gail Kim with 53, Cherry Bomb with 37. That's going to be an issue. Oh, it's a fracture. That's even better. Great. And then Nanya, on top of this, attacks Gail Kim after her injury, which is even worse. Rating with 39. And about that, decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Aaron Stevens defeats Shima Zion at 7:24 with an idolizer. They have great chemistry. Stevens at 62, Zion at 44. No improvements. So both men will be entering that six-pack challenge to see who will face the United States champion at Starrcade. Mick Foley makes a huge announcement as he comes to the ring and he goes, "I've just gotten word that there will be a huge surprise, well, no longer surprise, in the Wrestle War by the name of Bill Goldberg." So Goldberg comes out, does his huge entrance, comes to the ring saying, you know, it's time that WCW and I come to terms with what I am, and that is Goldberg, the most dominant man in WCW history, and I feel at Wrestle War, Goldberg needs to return and claim back the WCW championship from Bobby Roode. He gets interrupted, however, by Rhino, who says, you know, Goldberg, you've been gone for way too long, man. You can't just come back and expect world title matches and just think you're going to win Wrestle War, because there's a man beast in that match, and the man beast is not letting Goldberg win this match. No improvements. Cool. Yes. And about the decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Johnny Gargano defeats Mr. Anderson at 6:37 by submission with a crossed-on crab. Gargano at 60, Anderson at 42. Gives Gargano some momentum going to the six-pack challenge. Backstage, most Machine Guns are seen hanging out, talking about the Young Bucks and defending their tag team championships. And about the decent wrestling but little heat, the Morrison Machine Guns defeat the Killer Elite Squad. When Ashley beat Lance White by pinfall on Automatic Midnight, they'd make the title defense number 1 of the tag team championships. 54-61 for Morrison Machine Guns. Harry Smith at 39, Lance White at 34. Chris Sabins improving in technical. And the Young Bucks attack Morrison Machine Guns again, claiming that they want their WCW tag team championships back. Rob Echoes cuts a promo on Marty Scurll, saying that tonight's going to be the beginning of Rob Echoes' development here in WCW. As tonight I face off one member of the six-pack challenge. After I defeat him tonight, I will go on to Wrestle War to win the six-pack challenge, and then go on to face the United States champion MVP. He's getting better at his gimmick. In a poor match, Marty Scurll defeats Rob Echoes in 10:30 by pinfall with a graduation. They don't click, that's okay. Both men of 45, no improvements. Backstage, Bobby Roode, Mark Henry, and MVP are shown hanging out, saying that they're the three most dominant forces in wrestling today, and the three opponents that they got tonight in Hero, Bram, and Cody Rhodes have nothing on them, and that the reason why they are the champions here in WCW. In a decent match, Bobby Roode, Mark Henry, and MVP defeat Bram, Chris Hero, and Cody Rhodes at 11:38 when Mark Henry defeats Cody Rhodes with pinfall with the World's Strongest Slam. Cody Rhodes is 60, Hero are 59, Bram is 58, MVP is 63, Mark Henry is 54, Bobby Roode is 71. Storyline has advanced. Chris Hero is improving in technical and performance. We get a rating of a 60. And then after the match, Mark Henry and MVP celebrate in the ring as true heels would, as they feel they are the most dominant force in WCW. Both men clearly enjoy going off script, rating of a 76. And to end the show, we end up with a rating of a 70, which increases our popularity in 18 regions, which is fantastic going into Wrestle War. So like I said, this is the last ignition before Wrestle War, as we have some great things. Goldberg's coming out of retirement to wrestle in it. Rhino clearly doesn't like it. We have a great Fatal 4-Way for the world title, 6-man scramble, tag team title match. Hopefully our women's match isn't in jeopardy. Let's check that afterwards. And Mark Henry versus Chris Hero. But hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully you guys are really liking the series. I'd love to see some more views, likes, comments. Please subscribe as well. And enjoy the action as it unfolds, as we will see you next time on Wrestle War.